Hey guys, I'm Mikey. I'm back here for another video, guys. I like to start this video off real fast, saying that this is an opinion only, so don't take it too hard based on what my opinion is. Definitely, just take this with a grain of salt if you guys do not agree with me, but don't get like mad and frustrated based on what I said. So today we will be talking about the Xbox One Scorpio or Project Scorpio. Of course, Project Scorpio is comparing to the PlayStation Neo that's coming out next month. And everyone is going crazy to say, should you wait for the Project Scorpio or should you get the Xbox One S? Which, if you guys did not see my video, I looked at it. One Xbox One S, I have it myself. I bought it. I unboxed it. I did a review of it compared to the PS4, compared to the Xbox One. If you guys did not see that video, go check it out. But is it worth it? That is the question. Now, the difference between the PlayStation Neo and the Xbox Scorpio so far is we know the Neo is a 100% thing. We know it's going to come out. It's going to be announced either next month or a month or two down the road. And it's going to come out this year, actually, get released. Now, the only issue is when it comes to, the Xbox Scorpio is they claim that they're going to release it next year. Obviously, it looks amazing. 8-core CPU, 8 teraflop CPU. They claim holiday of 2017. This thing I'm showing you on the screen right now is actually not correct when it comes to release window because they said the PlayStation Neo was going to come out this year sometime around like December. So they pretty much should have put on where the release window was, where September through December, because that's when it's going to come out this year. We have no idea what the RAM is. We have no idea what the RAM bandwidth is. We know that it's going to be video output of 4K. We don't know about the optical drive. We don't know about the hard drive. We know that it's going to be VR compatible, but that's pretty much it. A software library, obviously, is just going to play everything that Xbox now plays. Plus, they'll probably make 4K games and, upgraded versions of different games, which, honestly, when it comes to this whole entire Scorpio crap, guys, if you're like me and you only play Madden, don't get the Scorpio. I think a lot of people are thinking this crazy concept and do not understand. The Scorpio is going to play 4K games. Correct. It's going to play crazy titles, though. It wouldn't, as Madden fans, we're not getting 4K Madden. I don't know if people don't understand that. People just want it so bad. It's not going to happen. We're probably not going to get 4K Madden for 4, 5, 6 years. That's not something that's going to happen. What you're going to get in 4K is you're going to get Gears of War. You're going to get, I don't know, if they make it Evil Within 2. You're going to get those type of titles. You're going to get these big, either single player, multiplayer titles. I don't even think Call of Duty, it might be in 4K. I have no idea if they're even going to put that in 4K, guys. I think a lot of people are thinking if you get the Scorpio, every game is going to be in 4K. And honestly, that's not true at all. The thing you have to remember is it depends on how many Scorpios sell. Companies are going to make their games and make a lot of the games for, what do you call it? They're going to make a lot of their games for a certain platform, let's say Xbox One, 360, PS3, PS4, Scorpio, Neo. They're going to make a lot of their games for a certain platform, but they're going to make it, the most they're going to make for a certain platform is the one that sells the best, okay? So, if Scorpio cost, which I think honestly it's going to cost about $1,500 to $2,000, 90% of the market is not going to buy that. Now, of course, there will be a lot of gamers out there who will buy it. Yes, correct. But the point of the matter is the parent that's trying to buy a console for their kid and they want to spend $200, $300, $400 at max, aren't going to buy a $1,200 console. And when you look at it in that way, these big game companies, EA Sports, Treyarch / Activision / Infinity Ward, whoever makes Call of Duty, they're not going to make the game, or they're not going to try their best to make a 4K game if 90% of the audience does not have the console. So that gets into my first point. I think it's going to fail, Scorpio, because I think it's going to cost way too much. The market is not going to pay over $700 for a console. It's just not going to happen. And yes, a lot of people buy these supercomputers, but the thing is, people are going to want to buy a supercomputer over a console. Although, yes, I understand that probably Scorpio is going to be this crazy madness, this crazy, I don't know, Xbox of the future. You got to look at the fact that it's still an Xbox. It's still an Xbox, and it's still, you got to look at it as an Xbox. You can't look at it as a supercomputer. You can't look at it as gaming PC. You can't look at those type of things, because it can't do those type of things. It can't do what a PC can do. It's not going to be playing PC games. It's not going to be out there doing, searching the internet at blazing speeds. It's pretty much just going to be playing your typical Xbox games in 4K. Yes, it's going to be a lot faster. Yes, it's going to have a better, speed-wise. It's going to do pretty much everything your Xbox does now faster. But it's going to cost a lot for that aspect. But it's not going to be like, this whole entire elaborate thing that is going to replace your PC. And if based on buying PCs cost a lot of money. You get a good gaming PC, you're going to be a lot of money down the drain. So you have to remember that when it comes to this Xbox. Of course, as you guys know, I got the 2TB version of the Xbox One S. That thing costs $400. Just like that. And honestly, a lot of people in America and United Kingdom, whatever you buy the Xbox from, they won't pay that much. They won't pay $400 for the Xbox. And I know a lot of you guys are going to say, well, it's because it's not really an upgrade, it's just a smaller console and it's the same thing. In my opinion, it's not. I mean, you literally have to play it in order to feel that. When I play the console, it feels completely different than my older Xbox. But again, you just have to have the console and play it in order to feel that kind of feeling when you play it. But nonetheless, even if it is the same console or not, there's people who don't own an original Xbox. And they're not going to pay $400, even if they want to get the next flashy thing. They're not going to do that. So the point of the matter is, no one's going to pay $1,200, $1,500 for this console. It's just not reasonable for people to do that. So that's the main reason why I think it's going to fail. I think it's going to fail because they're putting too many good things in this console, which, that's a great thing to put a lot of good things in the console, but you're putting so many good things that you're going to drive that price tag to ridiculous amounts. And the basic people buying these Xboxes are not going to pay that much. Plus, now this is just a theory, but you never know what's going to happen. If Scorpio does fail, let's say next year it completely flops, awful. That's going to drive the Xbox One prices, like the Xbox One S prices, up a crap ton. So, of course, if you guys do not know, they're not making any more of the 2TB version Xbox. So when the one I showed you, they're not making any more of that one. It's apparently sold out a lot of places, so you can buy it still, but I think it's in limited quantities. But the 1GB and the 500GB, it's still going to be available on August 23rd for people to buy, and of course they're going to keep making those. If Scorpio fails, Xbox One S prices are going to go crazy. Because if you cannot get the Scorpio, everyone who waited off to get the Scorpio is going to come back and buy the Xbox One S. I don't know if Microsoft is doing that in a way, to boost the prices, make everyone wait until next year, and then everyone just starts buying the Xbox at once because of the fact that, there's no Scorpio. I don't know. I just think it's going to fail because I think it's going to cost way too much. Not many people are going to buy it. And once again, guys, you got to look at the games that are going to come out for the freaking Xbox. It's not going to be... It's going to play normal games. Yes, like Madden, Call of Duty, all those type of games. But it's not going to be this crazy 4K environment for those titles. It's going to be 4K for the bigger titles. And also you gotta remember is the developer of the game has to make it 4K. So it's not like this. I mean, yes, actually, if you want to say that it's just HDR gaming and it upscales to 4K, that's what the Xbox One S does. That's what this console, Xbox One S, it upscales to 4K and it does HDR gaming. So if you're buying the Scorpio, because that's your whole point, is like, even if they don't make 4K content, it still upscales everything. That's what the Xbox One S does. It upscales everything to 4K and it does HDR gaming. So why are you buying the Scorpio? For those big titles that come out and the game developers make them in 4K. That's why you're buying the Scorpio. If you don't play these big titles though, and you just, let's say you just watch them, people play them on YouTube because you don't want to play the whole storyline, you just want to watch people play the storyline, there's no point for you to buy the Scorpio. Buy the Xbox One S. If you're not going to play these titles, there's no point for you to. There's no point for you to buy a console that's going to cost $1,200 to $1,500 because you're not going to be playing these big titles. I know a lot of people like to think just because it's going to be faster, it's going to be 10 times better than the original Xbox. And the whole thing is, it's not unless you're playing these big titles. It's going to be amazing for these big titles. It's not going to be amazing for Madden. It's not going to be amazing probably for, honestly, Call of Duty. It's not going to be amazing for NBA. It's not going to be amazing for NHL, FIFA, or any of those games. It's not. It's going to be amazing for the titles that, like, I mean, honestly, Fallout 4, it's probably going to be amazing for those titles. Those are the games, or Gears of War 5, Halo 5, those are the titles going to be amazing for. And if you guys on this, or Dead Rising 4 probably, but if you guys do play those games and, you know, you play Madden maybe once in a while and you play those games every second, and you need 4K, like you need it to be in 4K to look at it, yeah, then go get the console next year. But if you guys don't really care about the graphics and, you know, you most likely play Madden every second, or NBA, or FIFA, or NHL, or whatever game you play with sports game related, and you just watch people play these bigger titles on YouTube, don't get the console. Just get the Xbox One S. Because that's what, honestly, what you need in this aspect, that next year, yeah, I mean, if you have a 4K TV, let's pretend, the Xbox One S is going to upscale your Madden to a 4K resolution, and it's going to make it HDR gaming. But the thing is, it doesn't matter when it comes to those type of games for the Scorpio. If you're saying that the Xbox One S is the same thing as the Xbox One, Scorpio is going to be the exact same thing when it comes to the fact that playing Madden. You're not going to tell any difference between a Scorpio and an Xbox One S. You're not going to tell any difference between an Xbox One and a Scorpio when it comes to playing Madden. It's not going to happen, guys. You're going to tell a difference when you're playing Gears of War 5 on the Xbox One compared to Scorpio, yes. You're going to tell the difference when you're playing Halo 5 on the Xbox One versus the Scorpio. You're going to tell the difference when you're playing, you know, I don't know, some whatever games they have. I forget what type of games they have, but whatever the bigger titles are, you're going to tell the difference. But you're not going to tell the difference when you're playing Madden. You're not going to tell the difference when you're playing NBA. You're not going to tell the difference when you're playing those games. So if you're buying a Scorpio just for the fact of, you know, those games being like the huge thing, like you keep playing them in 4K, you're wasting your money. Because you're not going to get those games in 4K. That's just plain and simple how it is. Those games, they might be 5-6 years down the road. They might stop even looking to 4K. But those EA Sports, I think EA makes NBA too, but 2K, whatever you want to make it, they're not going to make their games 4K. Or they might in the future, like 4 or 5 years. I don't think that I could ever see them making 4K only. And right now, at least right now, they still make 360 and Xbox and PS3 games. Now, of course, they're not allowing the same features on those consoles, But still, to the matter is, they're still making those games. So they're not gonna do that to make it 4K only. I don't see them making it 4K only or 4K period for a long time. So that's my whole opinion, guys. I think the Scorpio is gonna fail because I think it's gonna cost way too much, and people are gonna realize the only games that play 4K on the console are the bigger titles. And if you don't play the bigger titles and you just watch people playing them on YouTube, there's no point to even get the console. So definitely leave your feedback down below, guys. That was my rant for this video. I told you that if someone wanted me to make a video, about the Xbox One S, I was gonna rant like crazy. And Nicholas Chavez, my man, you said you wanted me to make videos, so this was all for you, my man. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.